Tonight on TV5 News, what is the latest on the contract dispute between the state and its educators? Find out next. What kind of gambling ring was a Pennsylvania district judge implicated in? Details straight ahead. And also, why has Vice President Gore decided to move his campaign headquarters? Stay tuned.
And we will also have the latest in sports and weather coverage, as well as tonight's installments of the Entertainment and Financial Beat. All this and more straight ahead as TV5 brings coverage closer to home.
This is TV5 News, bringing coverage closer to home.
The question on everyone's lips these days is whether or not the state system faculty will strike. Good evening, I'm Dave Marsh.
And I'm Cynthia Walker. Mark Despotakis joins us live from the TV5 newsroom with the latest on these negotiations. Mark?
Thanks, Cynthia. It is a story that has taken this campus and 13 other campuses around Pennsylvania by storm. And we have heard so many rumors and speculation that we decided to give you an update on negotiations tonight. Here's what we know. Several negotiating sessions were held with the assistance of the state mediator late last week. Those talks broke down Saturday night with no agreement being reached. ABSCUF, the teacher union, has authorized the union president, William E. Fulmer, to call for a work stoppage whenever he deems it necessary. ABSCUF has agreed to give 48 hours notice of a strike. Also, local ABSCUF presidents have been instructed to finalize arrangements for alternative office locations in case of a strike occurring. At last word, there were about a dozen sticking points on the contract, including the use of temporary faculty, salaries, the health and welfare fund, hospital and medical insurance coverage, workload, compensation for summer employment, and compensation for overload in distance education. Currently, there is a bargaining session going on in Harrisburg at the Dixon University Center. Those talks started today at 4, and the only news that we have heard is that the talks are currently going on. I'm going to head back to the phones to try and get word on what is going on as we speak. And if you want to find out about the strike, you can visit the websites of ABSCUF at www.apscuf.com and the State System of Higher Education at www.sshechan.edu. Live in the newsroom, I'm Mark Despotakis. Back to you, Cynthia.
Thanks, Mark. Now, a story you'll hear first on 5 is part of its attempt to offset serious financial and operational challenges in its emergency medical service department. Clarion Hospital will implement pay adjustments to reflect the new 24-hour staff scheduling on October 11th. According to Don Evans, Clarion Hospital President and CEO, the wage adjustment is in the response to the longer shifts. Evans said the staff will now work 2 24-hour shifts per week, a total of 96 hours per pay period. The adjustment is to account for the extra 8 hours of overtime each employee will be compensated for. Evans also explained that the new wage scale is still consistent and competitive with other EMS providers in the area with similar scheduling.
A Strattonville man was held for trial Tuesday on charges of indecent assault and corruption of minors. Timothy Deemer is accused of having inappropriate contact with a 10-year-old girl on several occasions during the summer of 1998. Police allege that Deemer used a so-called pushing game to interact with the child in a sexual way. The girl told the assistant district attorney that there were a total of 5 incidents. And 2 men who waived their rights to preliminary hearings Tuesday on charges they cut and stole trees on Pennsylvania game lands this summer in Clarion and Jefferson counties. Wallace Fenton Jones Jr. of Siegel and Stephen Ravis of Fisher are accused of cutting down and stealing 6 cherry trees from the State Game Commission and 1 cherry tree that was owned by a Siegel woman. Police say the trees were valued at approximately $5,000. The defendants allegedly sold their timber as their own. Jones and Ravis are charged with theft by unlawful taking, criminal conspiracy, receiving stolen property, criminal mischief, and control of property.
The Clarion Area Authority held a public information meeting to let people know about new regulations regarding the sewage system that serves Clarion Borough and nearby parts of Clarion and Monroe Township. The new regulations could have a serious impact on CAA customers found to have roof and basement drains or other sources of stormwater connected to the sanitary sewer system. Customers identified as having such connections will be given a written notice in 30 days to correct the problem.
A slum man was ordered held for trial Tuesday on multiple sex charges following a preliminary hearing. Todd Davis is charged with assaulting a 16-year-old girl 3 separate times at his residence in 1998. The alleged victim testified at the hearing before District Justice Anthony Lapinto that Davis touched her improperly and had sex with her without her consent. In addition to the statutory sexual assault, Davis was bound over on 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault, incest, and corruption of minors. Authorities have said Davis signed a statement denying the victim's allegations. Northwest Health Systems announced plans Tuesday to merge with UPMC Health System, one of the largest and most prominent healthcare organizations in the nation. Northwest is the parent organization of Oil City and Franklin Hospitals, the Visiting Nurses Association of Venango County, and other groups. At the heart of the merger is the construction of a multi-million-dollar centrally located hospital in Venango County. The merger includes the hospitals in Oil City and Franklin, the Visiting Nurses Association, Sugar Creek Station, Northwest Health Enterprises, and 5 satellite offices. The new organization will be known as UPMC Northwest. The merger is expected to be completed on December 30th.
Jeffrey Barr pled guilty to charges of aggravated assault, theft, and DUI, admitting his role to a high-speed police chase that ended in gunfire last fall. The charges against Barr stem from an incident which occurred November 30th. Police allege the teen led State and Sugar Creek Borough Police on a 100-mile-per-hour chase along Route 8 from Oil City to Franklin before crashing the stolen truck he was driving into a building. Police said that Barr then tried to run a Sugar Creek patrol car off the road, after which he repeatedly rammed a state police cruiser. Barr was sentenced to serve 5 to 10 years in state prison, followed by 5 years probation, in addition to a $1,300 fine. The Oil City Development Corporation is still trying to sell engraved bricks to help finance part of the 3rd phase of the downtown project. Executive Director Cindy Lennon concedes the program will likely fall short of the goal of 2,000 bricks. So far, only 350 bricks have been purchased. Jody Downs, Oil City's Director in Planning and Community Development, said the project will go as planned, regardless of sales. She plans to ask City Council to consider using a portion of next year's Community Development Block grant money to cover the difference.
State Senator Mary Jo White of Franklin has introduced legislation to amend the recently enacted teen driving law to allow students to drive home from approved school-related events that run past 11 p.m. Currently, the law requires drivers who hold a junior license to be off the road by 11 p.m., but makes exceptions for those whose employment, charity work, or volunteer firefighting duty requires them to drive later than 11 p.m.
A Pittsburgh man convicted of threatening a man with a gun in a bout of road rage last year was sentenced Tuesday to serve 1 to 2 years in the Venango County Jail. Victim Daniel Motter of Titusville testified that the encounter began when Patrick Brunick cut him off at an intersection. Motter said that Brunick then confronted him with a sawed-off shotgun and proceeded to chase him by car at the high rate of speed. A county jury found Brunick guilty of terroristic threats, reckless endangering another, stalking, and disorderly conduct. A pre-sentence investigation revealed that Brunick has a prior conviction for aggravated assault. Coming up after the break, a Pennsylvania district judge is implemented in an illegal gambling ring, and the Tom Ridge for Vice President bandwagon gains momentum.
Also, Jeff Say from the Clarion Call will be joining us with tomorrow's news today. All this and more as TV5 News brings coverage closer to home.
Early years, young children cannot stand on their own. Uniting parents and children is an important part of the life of a community. Stand for Children encourages people to make a personal commitment to stand for the health of children. 300,000 Americans marched in Washington, D.C. last June to support Stand for Children Day. Stand for Children seeks to lift the belief that children need our help to stand.
It's my birthday. I'm the man. It's my birthday.
Exercised lately?
Go for a mouthful. Go for the fun.
Come on, go for cake.
Cake for everyone. Just one stack is what it takes. And it's go for cakes. Open wide. Stuff your face. There's always room for more Gopher cakes. Empty the box, never reload. Eat those Gopher cakes till you explode.
Exercised lately?
Till you explode.
Sad, looking back now, the things you go through in life. Scary. The worst thing about being on welfare was at Christmas time. I could get my kids what they really wanted. I had to get a better life for my girls and myself. I got off welfare. I got a good job. Makes me the happiest mother in the world. I live for my girls.
We're not asking you to hire everyone on welfare, just one.
This is TV5 News at 8, anchored by Christy Herman. Dave Marsh. Jen Bevavino with TV5 Weather. Dawn Ursich with sports. Now from the news team bringing coverage closer to home, this is TV5 News.
And welcome back to TV5 News. I'm Dave Marsh, and my normal co-anchor, Christy Herman, will not be in this week. She's out, and hopefully she'll be back next week. But right now, Jeff Sade joins us with highlights of tomorrow's issue of the Clarion Call. Jeff?
Good evening. In the October 7th issue of the Clarion Call, stories we'll be covering include the National Depression screening that will be held at Clarion University on October 13th, the strike authorization vote which took place on September 26, 27th, a review of the musical Celebration, and a review of the Autumn Leaf Parade. For TV5 News, I'm Jeff Say.
And taking a look at tomorrow's headlines from our newspaper exchange partner, the Clarion News, County Emergency Management Director Joe McEwen offers advice on new address displays. The Clarion Borough approves new labor contracts, and a lack of Exit 9 hydrants concerns residents and officials of Monroe Township.
Despite claims by Pittsburgh police that new rules to prevent bias keep them from writing tickets, officers have actually written fewer citations the year prior to the new rules than they did the 2 years following their implementation. Police Chief Robert McNeely says officers should stop blaming the rules for the ticket drops and other problems they see with the department.
Federal authorities say a Washington County District Justice helped run at least 2 illegal video gambling outlets in western Pennsylvania and tipped off the owner of another business to a police raid. An 18-month undercover illegal gambling search has led to the guilty pleas on gambling-related charges by 3 associates of Justice Ronald Amati. Amati has not been charged yet, but has been suspended with pay.
A judge has ruled that the 2 men charged with opening fire on a Pittsburgh police station will not face attempted homicide charges. Chief City Magistrate William Simmons did rule that the 2 suspects in the August 27th incident, which injured 1 person, will face other charges, including aggravated assault. Simmons ruled that there was not enough evidence that Ricky Dion Boyer and Pierre Pinson intended to kill anyone.
Jury selection is scheduled to resume today in the trial of 19-year-old Timothy Williams, who is charged with killing Kane police officer Stephen German during a traffic stop. 6 Mifflin County residents have already been selected. Jury selection is being held in Mifflin County due to the current media attention in McCain County. Superior Court Judge Maureen Lally Green acknowledges she violated judicial ethics codes by signing a letter seeking contributions to her campaign for a full 10-year term. After realizing her mistake, Lally Green apologized to the recipients of the letter and offered to return the money. The letter is now in the hands of the State Judicial Conduct Board.
Supporters of Governor Ridge's vice presidential prospects are placing their money on their intuitions. Several individuals have purchased the rights to websites that link Ridge's name with Texas Governor George Bush. There are at least 7 websites linking their 2 names. Representatives of Bush and Ridge say it is too early to speculate about next year. Prosecutors say a Northampton County mayor has agreed to resign after being arrested in an undercover drug sting that charged with tipping off dealers and other undercover agents. Bangor Mayor Robert Janis was arrested September 27th along with 17 other prospects. Coming up after the break, Vice President Gore moves his campaign headquarters to friendly territory, and Congress wrestles with a nuclear test ban treaty.
Also, Gary Martin will show us how to find the right financial planner in tonight's Financial Beat. And Jen Bevavino will join us from the TV5 Weather Center with a look at the forecast for the remainder of the week. All this and more straight ahead as TV5 News brings coverage closer to home.
Introducing new frequent phone hours.
Use the phone just 8 hours a week and get this free phone cradle. Use it 12 hours and get a speakerphone.
Use it 15 hours and get this cool headset.
Or stay on the phone 20 hours a week
and get a pasty complexion,
flabby body, and a great new nickname at school.
Exercised lately?
I want my mother to be there. My hair's gonna be done so beautiful. A lot of music, a nice blue dress. I want to be beautiful for every single person that goes there. If I got shot, I want to have a nice funeral.
Every day, 10 children are killed by gunfire. Help stop the violence. Call 1-800-WE-PREVENT for free information. Not one more lost life. Not one more grieving family. Not one more.
Welcome back to TV5 News. The investigation following yesterday's horrific train crash in London is focusing on the possibility that one train may have gone through a red light. Reports say the outbound train tried to cross in front of a London-bound train which had a green light. The two commuter trains slammed into one another during yesterday morning's busy rush hour. 27 have been pronounced dead. Crews continue to search through the wreckage, fearful that more bodies will be found. And supporters and opponents of the nuclear test ban treaty agree that it doesn't have the votes to pass. Carl Levin, a top Democratic senator, has called for the treaty to be withdrawn for now. He says that outright rejection would send a damaging signal to other nations considering weapons tests. White House Press Secretary Joe Lockhart says President Clinton is not asking for a delay on the treaty, but he acknowledges that he doesn't know where it is going.
Vice President Gore announced last week that he's opening his new presidential campaign headquarters in Tennessee. Analysts say Gore wants to shake his image as Washington insider. Recent polls show rival Bill Bradley gaining in the race for the Democratic nominations in some key primary states. Gore's challenging Bradley to debates as he seeks to breathe new life into his presidential campaign.
Jimmy Carter is urging President Clinton to pardon Patty Hearst's prison sentence. Carter stated that Hearst is a model citizen in every way. Hearst was kidnapped by the Symbionese Liberation Army terrorists in 1974. She also participated in an SLA bank robbery and went to prison for it in 1976. She served 21 months of her 7-year term before Carter commuted her sentence. The former president now says she deserves a pardon.
Are you searching for a good financial planner? If you are, Gary Martin has some good advice for you in tonight's Financial Beat.
Financial professional to help you achieve your financial goals. Start by asking friends and relatives who they use. Then interview a few of these professionals to find one you're comfortable with. And keep in mind, a good financial professional should make suitable recommendations based on your needs and goals. He or she should provide advice based on training and experience. Your financial consultant should add value by providing information and expertise that you otherwise may not have access to. All recommendations should be tailored to your individual circumstances, and he or she must be sensitive to your family situation and investment personality. Finally, a financial professional should provide clear, comprehensive, objective, and timely information. With TV5's Financial Beat, I'm Gary Martin, your Clarion Edward Jones investment representative, member SIPC.
Thanks, Gary. If there's a topic you would like to see on Financial Beat, send it to us at TV5 Becker Hall, Clarion University, Clarion, PA, 16214. We are not able to answer individual letters. And joining us now from the Weather Center is TV5's Jen Bevavino with a look at your Clarion area extended weather forecast. Jen?
Good evening. I'm Jennifer Bevavino here with your TV5 Weather Center forecast. Taking a look at our satellite imagery map at the moment, you'll notice we have some precipitation lying north of us at the moment. This precipitation will be moving southeasterly across the state, so we may be seeing some scattered showers around Saturday, although the rest of the weekend looks quite clear. Taking a look at our fronts map, you'll notice that we are in the middle of a high-pressure system. We will see the temperatures ranging throughout the week, but we will mainly see temperatures staying in the mid-60s region. Taking a look at our precipitation map, you'll notice once again for today, no precipitation at the moment. Once again, Saturday, we may see some scattered showers. Taking a look at our highs map for today, you'll notice that we are high into the high 50s, the lower 60s region. Hopefully, once again, we will be seeing these temperatures rise a little bit throughout the rest of the week, although staying along the same lines. Taking a look at our lows map, you'll see that we were low into the 40s region today. And just a reminder, there is a frost warning in effect for tonight. So if you have any pumpkin or carrot plants, I'd suggest to you to cover those tonight so they'll be staying clear of the frost. Taking a look at our not precipitation, but our 5-day planner, you'll notice for Thursday it will be sunny with a high of 51, a low of 31. For Friday, partly cloudy with a high of 60, a low of 36. For Saturday, some scattered showers with a high of 64, a low of 48. For Sunday, partly cloudy with a high of 64, a low of 45. And for Monday, partly sunny, once again, with a high of 58 and a low of 45. And that's your TV5 Weather Center forecast. Back to you, Dave and Cynthia.
Thanks, Jen.
After the break, Don Ursich will give us an inside look into the Major League pennant races, as well as scores and highlights from all around the world of sports.
And Carolyn Kelly will be here with tonight's entertainment beat. All this and more as TV5 brings coverage closer to home.
Standing out from the crowd is easy when you stop in at Fashion Bug, located in a Clarion mall. Whether you're looking for junior trendy, girls, or fashion for women, they have it all with many different styles. With our newly expanded shoe and accessory department, you're surely to find that special enhance that new outfit. And if you have a fashion question, our experts are here to help. That's Fashion Bug, off exit 9, Interstate 80, open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. till 9 p.m., Sunday from noon till 5.
Where have all the children gone? Long time passing.
Every day, 10 children are killed by gunfire. You can help stop the violence. Call 1-800-WE-PREVENT. Not one more lost life. Not one more grieving family. Not one more.
Gone to graveyards one by one. Oh, when will we ever learn?
News travels fast. That's why you need the speed and accuracy of a news team that brings coverage closer to home. Every Tuesday and Wednesday night, join TV5 News for Clarion's only live local newscast on television at 8. Tune in for the latest in regional, state, and national news. Plus, with our newspaper exchange partner, the Clarion News, teaming up to bring coverage closer to home every Tuesday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Clarion's only live local newscast on television at 8 is here on TV5.
I'm Don Ursich, here again with the award-winning 2-minute sports report on TV5 News. Major League Baseball kicked off their playoff season last night with 3 different games. In the early game, Greg Max and the Atlanta Braves lost at home to the Astros 6-1. Ken Caminiti went 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs, while Shane Reynolds and a few good middle relievers held the Braves to just 1 run on 7 hits. Those amazing Mets went into Arizona and beat the big unit Randy Johnson 8-4. Edgardo Alfonso hit a pair of home runs, a solo shot in the first and a grand slam in the top of the 9th. John Olerud for the Mets hit a 2-run shot off Johnson, and Luis Gonzalez for the Diamondbacks also hit a 2-run homer. Now the defending champs, the Yankees, played the Rangers at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees put up 8 runs. That was enough for Orlando Hernandez as they blanked the Rangers 8-0. The 4th series between the Red Sox and the Indians starts tonight at Cleveland. It looks like yet another town with long football tradition will get a team back. The city of Houston will get a new NFL franchise after Bob McNair put up a bid of $700 million for a new team. The new addition will change the alignments of the divisions. Houston's team will be in the AFC, which means that one of the teams that is there now will go to the NFC. The team will not be named the Oilers, even though the fans of Cleveland did get the Browns back. It's time once again to run down the college football top 5 in each of the polls. In the ESPN coaches poll, Florida State's number 1, Penn State's number 2, Michigan's number 4, Nebraska's 5, and Virginia Tech replaces Florida, who got beat by Alabama in overtime 39-40. The AP poll has their top 5 exactly the same. Now the tough road for the Golden Eagles women's volleyball team begins this season with a new head coach, Scott Pennewall. TV5 sports photographer Jess Palm-Ranning captures the spirit of the team.
Team goals are pretty performance-based at this point. We actually had the team create individual as well as team goals. And part of our team goals have been to perform at a more consistent level from day to day. We've instituted a concept referred to as career best performance, where each time we take the floor, we want to get at least 1 percentage point better in each of the skill areas. Our record now is 6-9. I feel we could have a better record. We've lost some matches that we just didn't have the ability to finish. My goal in coming into this job is to, again, build a contender. It's been since 1988 since Clarion has had a conference champion. So my long-term goals definitely include that as being, something we need to be striving for.
Well, that's it for this week. For TV5 Sports, I'm Don Ursich.
Thanks, Don. Now, it was a water rescue, but the victim wasn't in the condition firefighters expected. A man in Albany, Oregon phoned for help when he thought he saw someone in the river. The fire department was dispatched on a full-blown rescue mission, but the drowning victim turned out to be a life-size blow-up doll. A ladder truck, 2 ambulances, a rescue truck, 2 watercrafts, and 13 firefighters rushed to the scene. The firefighters say they had to laugh, but also had to pull the doll from the water. They didn't want any more false alarm rescue calls. Now, so far, no one has reported that their inflatable doll is missing, or at least admitted to have misplaced it. And now, Kelly joins us with tonight's installment of the Entertainment Beat. Carolyn?
Thanks. Now let's take a look at some of the activities going on here in Clarion. Tomorrow, try to catch Jacqueline Oshro in Moores Hall for a Visiting Writer Series beginning at 8 p.m. On Friday, October 8th, the Drama Department will be performing Celebration in the Little Theater located in the Mark Boyd Building. The show starts at 8 p.m. for both upcoming Friday and Saturday nights. Saturday morning at 10, you can board the bus for the Clarion football game against Edinburgh. The bus ride is sponsored by UAB. On Monday, October 11th, the Major Decision Series presents a discussion on personal self-discovery in 250-252 Gemmel at 5:30 p.m. And finally, next Wednesday, October 14th, the Students Against Rape group will be meeting at 4 p.m. in 248 Gemmel. Everyone is welcome to attend. For Entertainment Beat, I'm Carolyn Kelly, Channel 5 News.
Thanks, Carolyn. Now joining us once again is Jen Bevavino with your final look at your Clarion area forecast. Jen?
Taking a look back at our weather once again. For Thursday, it will be sunny with a high of 51, a low of 31. For Friday, it will be mostly cloudy with a high of 60, a low of 36. And for Saturday, scattered showers, so be aware, with a high of 64 and a low of 48. That's your weather recap. Back to you, Dave and Cynthia.
Well, that wraps it up for tonight's broadcast. Be sure to tune in next Tuesday at 8 p.m. as Christy DeZort and Brian Cook bring you continued coverage of state, local, regional, and national news. I'm Cynthia Walker.
And for the entire TV5 News team, I'm Dave Marsh. Good night.